So,
Now I'm recording. You gotta say all that all over again.
I was like, oh, it's time to be quiet.
and that's
Nope.
when I muted.
No,
Yeah.
no, actually, I mean that was beautiful. That was beautiful to to hear your growth and just being in the community, learning from each and every one of us. It's a blessing, because now you're
Yeah.
doing your thing.
And that's exactly what I was doing as well, Shantae. Once I just started getting on the futures floor with you all, like I had no clue. I would just get on and just listen, and each day just kept doing that, and then slowly catching on, and then jumped in, started paper trading, and just went on from there. So, yeah, just showing up and just listening, and you pick up on it, and
Yep.
you just start executing paper trading till you kind of figure it out and ask questions.
Yeah.
So
And they're always
definitely.
teaching while they trade. So that's
Hmm.
it's a beautiful place to be over there because some
Really.
folks, it's like, oh, I can't trade and teach at the same time, which is understandable. And we don't want to be a distraction, but they really have it down where they teach and they trade and teach and they talk out their trades as they go along, and it helps us. So yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Dude, thank you,
Somebody would teach
guys.
me how to trade.
Brother Close, stop it.
Here
Your
he
growth.
comes with the 6 a.m. jokes. And then there's
Well,
Joffrey.
Jeff said he wants to shed a tear.
Look,
Coach
and then there's
Jeff.
Joffrey.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eve. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. It's barely waking up. It's 6 in the morning here in LA.
Oh my gosh, you guys are really up early for this. I gotta put on a show, don't I? Okay.
You know, the West
Morning.
Coast people, they're always like so committed. You guys be getting up so early.
Listen, I got the notification and I looked at it. And I was like, it's way too early. And I was like, just log on.
Oh
You're
my
up
God.
anyway. Why
Chloe
not?
is here. Good morning,
No,
family.
no pressure, Steve. No pressure today.
No pressure. Okay, good. Because, you know, I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got, and we're gonna make it happen with the rest of it.
Yeah, because divergences aren't my strong suit, so this is good for me.
That's
Me
good.
too, Sherman. When I saw that, I was like, okay, let me do everything I have to do. Let me go to bed, like Steve told me. So I can be listening good.
Well,
Right.
I'm gonna teach y'all the hard way. So then I got because y'all got cheat code algo. That's the easy way. That just shows it to you and gives it to you. But I'm gonna show you the hard way so that you
Okay.
guys can get it, and then
Okay.
y'all see it before y'all even see it, and that's the goal, to see them as they're coming in. And I work a lot with my brother Chloe, and we tied this thing down to science. So divergences are a beautiful way to see possible tops and bottoms in the market. So as I speak, I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna get over it. Y'all ready to get on in? Let's get it. It's about 30 of us on here. Let's get it. Whoever's late can watch the recording. All right, let's share the screen. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Cheat Code family. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, you're lucky to get some of this good live session that we are having now. You just get to see it later. All right. So today what we're going to be going over is divergences. And what divergences are ways to see when the markets are possibly getting weak, even turning around. So you can call out possible tops and bottoms in the market at different time frames, any time frame. This actual situation works on all time frames. So as price is going up, right, the oscillators, which we're going to be using today, is called the MACD. The MACD oscillator tracks price and the flow of price and the momentum that the stock price is going in, and how's it flowing, the strength of it, in a sense, right? So if the price action is pushing up, the MACD should also be pushing up, and it should be going with every nook and cranny. So if this goes up and comes down a little bit, so should the momentum. right? So what we want to see is when price is going up, right? But the momentum isn't. That means that there's weakness in that push to the upside. It's the same thing for the downside. When price is going down, the MACD should be tracing it with when price is going down and going up and going down and doing its little up and down moves, the MACD should be flowing with it precisely, right? So as you can see here, prices, let's go over here. Price is making its move up, come down a little bit, come up, come down a little bit, goes up. And as you can see, the MACD is kind of flowing with it. The lines and what these little bars are called the histograms. So the MACD line and what's called the signal line. The MACD line is the blue line, and the signal line is the orange line. That is actually one of the EMAs that it follows, these lines here, right? So the histograms are showing the push, the force, that which when the price action is going up, how much people are buying, almost kind of like volume in a sense, right? So as the MACD's greens get darker, that means it's pushing up even more. As you can see, the histograms are getting bigger, and then when price action decreases, then the momentum is dying off. So these two in conjunction, price and the MACD, are supposed to be in unison, beautiful. But when they're not, then we have a problem. Something is on the awry. Something isn't right. Somebody's lying. So we're going to find out what people is lying so we can take advantage of that weakness. And we're going to use it on, say, just one time frame. And I'm going to show you also how to use it on multiple time frames so that you can get an even more of an edge and advantage above everyone else. All right. So let's run through these. All right. Everybody understand that so far? Because I like that interaction. That explanation of divergences makes sense to you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it does.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's go. We're going to use SPY on the daily, and I'm going to show you how we were actually able to call some of the big reversals that happened. Now I'm going to tell you right now, as I'm explaining this, two things can happen when these divergences occur. One thing, we can have a massive reversal of trend, right? So we have a nice uptrend coming on, and we see we're having that disagreement of price and the MACD. Then we can have a nice drop, big reversal, or the MACD. What could be happening is price action could just be slowing down for a moment, taking a breather, like a runner going 100 miles a minute, getting it, and then they start to feel it a little bit. Gotta slow down the pace, breathe for a second, go from a run to a jog, and then when they really catch their rhythm again and catch their breath, take off again. And so I'm gonna see if I can find a couple that we can see in both aspects, where we had a beautiful reversal, and then one where it just took a break and then continued in that same direction with that same force. All right, so we're gonna do both of those, and then we're gonna show at the end, before we get off, I want to show you a couple that's happening right now. All right, so we can see, I can show you how to see it while it's happening. All right, cool. That being said, all right, now I got SPY on the daily, and I want to show you guys how it flows first, right? So I'm gonna go back a little bit in time, and let's see where everything is flowing smoothly. Okay, all right, so price action is coming down, right? The MACD is coming down, smooth. Price action went up a little bit, MACD went up, price action comes down. The momentum of the MACD is going down as well, all seeming normal and regular. Price action starts to go up, cool. Everything is looking good. Histograms come, price action goes down, histograms and the lines come down a little bit. We create higher lows. We create higher lows on the MACD as well. Price action is moving. Now, I want to zoom in a little bit. I want to show you something. Price action goes up here. All right, normal, comes down. Price action goes back up. So now we have a pivot here. We come down, hit this point here, come up, and price gets higher than this price here at this previous pivot, this previous high, right? Let's put a little circle on that there. So
Hey Steve, are you looking at the close or the wick, the top of the wick?
I'm looking at the actual curl, so the pivot, right? So this area right here, where it actually gets to the high and then starts coming down.
Got it.
That's right. So that's the highs. I'm looking at those major change of direction. That's those pivots. So then we come down, boop, and then price goes up higher and then pivots. So once it pivots, I really want to see what's going on down here at the MACD. So we have price action got higher, then it pivots down. Well, why didn't this go higher? So price came down and then this went higher. Why didn't this go higher on the MACD? And where's my push? Where's my green histograms? They don't even exist on this push. So this is telling me something, right? And I look at it as people, because people are the ones buying and selling these stocks, right? Or they have machines doing it for them. Either way, at this price action, price is supposed to get higher, but the price is too high for some reason. And there's no people are not continuously buying it for it to go higher. So we got to cut it, right? So what happened is there's no green histograms. The lines are not higher. As price action got higher, the lines should be higher, should be at least the same level, if not a touch higher than this area right here, right? So let's mark it off together. Let's see that there. That's where that was. Let's go down here. This is lower. That's a problem, right? So seeing that the buyers have disappeared, the sellers are in control. What happens? Price took off to the downside for a couple of days. Well, these are the type of things that we can see in advance as prices curling over, and we look down and we say, hold on. Maybe you were in, we do a lot of options. We were in the calls and making good money in here. And we just, flowing with it and say, hey, this could be a higher high. This could take off and go higher. But then when we look down at the MACD, we might say, whoa, something is not right. This is not in agreement. So we might want to take some profits as we see this start to curl. We say, hey, this is what's called a divergence here. This isn't cool. Price action is going higher. And I'm repeating this thing over and over again because I'm really trying to sink this stuff in you guys' head. But the oscillator slows up and down. It's supposed to go with the price action. It's not flowing with the price action. And once that goes down goes Frazier. Boom. Did it have a whole big move down and start a whole downtrend? No, but it came down, which means you would have saved yourself a whole lot of money. You made some money coming down here and just move up. You said, all right, cool, I'm flowing with everything going. This goes down. You saved yourself a headache on losing some profits. Right? Cool. So, but then, price action gets back to its normal routine, right? Okay, that happened. Then price caught itself at this pivot here, started moving up, and it starts flowing again. Everything is flowing nice. Okay, we get our little down moves. All right, cool. Everything looks good. Everything is looking pretty kosher. Price action and everything else is flowing nice until we get to, wait a second, hold on, something isn't right. So we had a price come down here, right? We had a nice pivot down here, nice move down here. Let's mark this off, right? And then price action came up. Then it came back down and got lower, right? This is in February 2022. Price action got lower, but something isn't right. Let's look at that MACD at this areas. Price is low here, right? It got lower, but that being said, these lines and these histograms are higher than before. That's telling me something. That's giving me some vibes. So price action got lower here, but the oscillator is not in agreement. It doesn't want to cooperate. So what happens? And we get a nice big bar. This is a big reversal, big green bar. Us retail traders, we can't make those kind of bars. No, we can't. So that means institutions, hedge funds like this price down here. People were pushing, but it was weak. The sellers were weak compared to the last time it pushed. So down here, something ain't right. And what happens? We get a little push up, right? It can't get back below this price. For whatever reason, it can't get back below this price. And what happens? We have a nice push up. So seeing these things in advance gives you that edge, guys. It gives you that edge. We're gonna keep flowing. We're gonna keep flowing. This looking good to you guys so far? Y'all liking it so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
cool,
Yep.
cool,
I'm
cool.
getting this for the first time. I could never really. I'm getting it. Thank you.
No problem. I want you to get it. I want y'all to get it. And so as price action goes, we want to every time we see a peak, right? And we see a lower, oh, there go another one. I see another one. Okay. So as we follow price. Okay, MACD's following with price. Okay. So we're in this nice little downtrend, right? So let's look for another one. Price action had a peak right here. It came pushed up. Okay. Pushed down for a lower low. Okay. No problem. But then let's look at that MACD. That MACD is like, wait, I'm down here on this first drop. We get a next drop. It should be lower, shouldn't it? It should be following. It should be lower than this drop here. But it's not. The histograms had nice force right in this area. It pushed up, came down. Where's the force? Where's the sellers? They disappeared. So once again, something isn't in agreement. So what happens? We turn around and we push up. Now, we don't push up far, but that's okay. As long as we know we're in some puts, looking to play to the downside, and we holding our puts, maybe about a couple of months out, and then you start to see this happen. You say, wait, might be time to take some money off the table. And sure enough, we had a push. Or you could say, oh, this may be a little bit of a bottom. Let me get some calls. And as it's turning around, MACD crosses over to the upside. Good possibility, get a nice pivot here. Boom. Or you could say, hey, we're breaking trend with a bullish divergence. This is a bullish divergence when I'm into, it's nice to tell you guys what the wording is. So when we're going down and the MACDs are starting to point up, when price action is going down, that's called a bullish divergence. When we're going up,
One.
Say that again?
A regular one.
A regular. Yeah, we're not going to go over hidden divergences today. That's a whole
Thank
nother
you.
class. That's a whole nother class. We want to keep it real simple. We just want to look for turning points, some real, big turning points with regular divergences today. Hidden divergences are good, but we ain't going to go over that today. Not today. That one is a whole nother class in itself. When the price action is going higher, but the oscillators are going lower, that's giving a bearish signal. It's called a bearish divergence. So I want to make sure I tell you that because I don't want to forget that.
And you take the name of the divergence from what the MACD is doing, not from what the candles are doing. Yes.
Well, in actuality, both, because it's what it's doing is actually telling us what the stock may be doing. It may be going in the other direction and turning from bullish to bearish, or from bearish to bullish.
But you're basing that on the divergence on the MACD.
On the divergence, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
yes,
it's based.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, absolutely. So cool. This was a big one that we called at the end of the year last year. And I remember being on a call with Ray J, and we was talking about these lows and how the VIX was high. People were getting greedy. It's probably time to buy. So what happened here is same thing, same concept, y'all. Price action is getting low. Got a nice little low here. It went lower. The MACD though was right here. Price action went lower. Why didn't the MACD go lower? Because there were no sellers. The sellers disappeared. And then you got another one of those big green candles that gives you a little signal. The institutional guys, they're probably they're probably taking over. And sure enough, they did. And when you see these on the histograms and the MACD lines at the same time, that is a grade A divergence. Even though it's not always going to work out beautifully, this thing doesn't work out, to be a big reversal every time. But it just shows that there is some weakness and that you should be paying attention. And it can be a nice reversal. This was a nice reversal. This was some good money going to the upside. And then, dang, there goes another one. Like, you're going to start seeing these, and you'll see them on the 2 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute. When you start to pay attention at these peaks, and as price action goes higher, or when they go lower, and start paying attention to that MACD, you're going to start to see these things. And I want you guys to back test this, is look at any stock and start seeing these turning points and say, oh my gosh, that was a huge divergence. So that when the next one comes, you can be ready, because we want you guys ready. So we got, and also when they're at the same level too, and you have a big divergence, that one is definitely included. Somebody had a question?
In the MACD, the MACD double top.
The MACD double top, yeah, you got a double top, and that MACD is showing like this was a big one. This one for me was a big one. Look at this here. There was no green candles at all. Put the price action count here, pushed down, came back up to the same level. And if you look at this peak right here, which was pretty cool, it stopped right around that same level. That price, we know that price had a big drop once it got to this price before. It was support at one point in time. See, even back here.
So that's a
resistance. There's a liquidity zone. So knowing that, when price got back here, it played down, it got back up here and created a bearish divergence at a very well-known area. Oh man, it's almost like taking candy from a baby. And sure enough, there was no green people, no green histograms. The buyers had disappeared. They left the building, and the sellers took control for a couple of days.
But can I ask you, it kind of seems, but we have the foresight of being able to see the whole.
You're right. I'm going to show you something that's happening right now. That hasn't even, that even hasn't formulated 100% yet.
And Steve, would you be open to back testing a ticker just so we could see how you play it out?
Yeah, if we have time, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely. All right. So everybody pretty much get the gist of this aspect.
We'll definitely take getting used to, but yeah, so far so good.
So far so good. All right, good. Okay, good. Now, these are ones that had some nice reversals, right? Now, recently we had some that consolidated and took off. Not recently, but this is the daily chart. So I'm gonna show you some that actually took off, right? Now I'm gonna keep this line here because this line was very important. This 411 was very important for a very long time in our trading, right? So let's go to some divergences that pretty much consolidated and then took off again. So I'm gonna show you guys this one. So we got to this high here. And then we got higher here, right? And we had a nice big divergence on both the histogram. They go that high, they go this high.
Steve,
on the histograms and the lines. Yes.
Can I, what are your settings on your, is that on your MACD? Mine doesn't look like that.
It doesn't look exactly. Now, on the default, you'll still see these divergences, but my settings are a little bit closer to price action and the price action movement, but I'm gonna give those to you right now. You ready for them? I use the 532.5.
532.5.
532.5 for my MACD settings.
That's not the default?
These are not the default. The default are the 12, 26, and 9, if I'm correct.
Okay, thank you.
All
Hey,
right,
Steve,
no problem.
I
Yes,
got
sir.
another question for
Yeah.
that right there.
Mhm.
I know the fast, well, I assume the fast is the blue line, the fast length is a blue
Mhm.
line. But which one is the slow length and which one is the signal smoothing?
I couldn't even tell you, brother, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you.
The
I just
blue one,
asked this
the
because
lead
like if I was going like thick or swim and try to do that, I want to make sure I'm doing the right
I got
one.
them. Yeah, on Think or
the blue
Swim.
one. It's the blue one on this chart. It's the fast one.
Okay.
I have it on my Think or Swim as well. And it's easy. It's pretty pretty much the same thing. You just pop those numbers in.
Okay. All right.
Yes, in a row, 532, 5. Yeah, it's usually the same exact thing, same exact setup, if I'm correct.
Perfect.
I usually don't Think or Swim as well. All right, so I hope all y'all got that one. Y'all got the settings on that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. So with this divergence here, right, we got about the same level. MACD was lower, and it did push down. It did push down some, right? But it didn't give that big reversal. And you usually get that when it breaks that middle pivot, and it give you a good change of trend, right? But what this one did was it got to that level here, got to pretty much a double bottom. And then what it did was it consolidated sideways. Now we was already in this little uptrend here. It consolidated sideways, then broke out and continued its direction to the upside. And that can happen as well, right? So when I play those, I like to play those breakouts when it breaks the high of that divergence. I usually like to play that. Let me see another one that did that. This one did it as well. So here we go again. Another one that did a little consolidation and then break out to the upside. Right here. And right here. And you'll still get that little bit of a pullback, right? You'll still say, hey, I might want to get out of this trade. And, that would be, I ain't gonna say the right thing to do. You can do what you want. But if you're in profit, there's no reason not to take some profit if you see, some weakness in the market. Because number one rule is we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We can anticipate, we can say, hey, this is a possibility, but we don't know for sure. We do not know for certain. Number one rule is the market going to do what the market wants. All we could do is play with it and trying to get in a little bit of our edge. So we had those highs. This was a beautiful divergence. And the next 4 candles, it just went sideways for the most part. And then took off in the same direction. And wow, I just seen this one. Whew, we see these things are popping up all over the place, man. These things are popping up all over the place. We didn't have a good drop here, but we still had a little bit of a dip. Then it went a little bit higher. And we got a nice red bar here that it couldn't even get past. We still haven't got past that high. And as you see, price got a little bit higher, but the MACD was telling us there's no histograms, no green histograms, and we call this a no return. It never returned. Price got a little higher than before, but the histograms never got green. This is all red. So that being said, there was no return to green when price went higher. So there's no buyers around. And as we can see what happened after that, had a nice drop. And then we're looking like we're trying to go into another divergence if we even get to this level, because these levels here are going to, unless something super crazy goes bananas and then these MACD lines shoot up crazy, I'm still seeing another divergence possibly looking to form. But these histograms are bigger than before, so anything can happen. So I just wanted to show you that on there. So we've seen when they can turn to have a nice move to the downside or the upside from a bullish and bearish divergence. We also seen continuation when they'll give that pullback a little sideways move, and then continue in that same direction. So, you guys just be careful when y'all see, but when you do see it, know that we do have some weakness in the market, and it might be a good idea to take some profits. or even possibly get in on the direction. Now, when I do see these divergences on one time frame, I'm gonna give y'all an extra sauce. Y'all ready for the extra sauce?
We ready.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take this nice drop right here, right? So let's say you saw this on the daily, you seen this coming. What I like to do, let me just draw a line right here. And I don't care if you're on the hourly or the 15-minute or whatever. When you start to see this on a bigger time frame, whatever time frame you're on, and you're looking to go say, hey, I see this divergence and this may get some weakness. Well, how can I take advantage of it? You can go down to a lower time frame, right? You can go down to a lower time frame and look for plays, whatever strategy you do, whether you do EMA crossovers or consolidation breakouts, whatever you do. Red take out green like Oliver Velez, you can throw on your EMAs and you just wait patiently. And then you just look and you wait. You see it coming and it's starting to curl. Now, this was that big red candle. So you would probably wait until after that big red candle before you would even say, yeah, this is looking like a real big divergence. And that 617 crossover came about. Had a nice move down after that. You could have played these pullbacks. It's hit the 50 EMA, could have played that, came down. I like to look for things on the lower time frame because I already see what's happening on a bigger time frame. Now I can go down and look for my play on a lower time frame. And I like to go either thirds or fourths. So if you're looking at a daily, I like to look on maybe the 2 hour, the 1 hour. I don't really do the 2 hour too much, but like the 1 hour. Or if you're looking at the 4 hour and you see a divergence, you can look at the 1 hour. You're looking at the 15-minute, you could go to the 5-minute, the 3-minute. You're looking at the 5-minute, you can go, you see divergence on the 5, you can go see if it's going to play out on the 1 and look for your reversal play on that lower time frame so you can get in on that weakness of the bigger time frame. That makes sense to you guys?
Yes, sir.
What was the bigger time frame you used on this one? I didn't look at the time frame. Sorry.
So I was on no problem. I was looking at the daily.
Okay, the daily.
I was looking at the daily. Yeah. So I like when I'm from the daily or the 4 hour, I like to go down to the hourly and look for those plays. Okay, come on, give it to me. I know you about to change direction, at least for a little while. Give me some money. Give me some money. And so you can do this during day trading, or even swing trading. You see these things, you can get a couple of days of some good moves in the opposite side. Nothing is going to happen every time. Like I said, nothing happens all the time, but these are little hints that the market is giving you that you can take advantage of.
Sorry, bro. Sorry to cut you. This is some really interesting. I appreciate you sharing this knowledge. I've never actually used the MACD to get a divergence. I'm all RSI.
Okay.
So seeing this strategy being shared, because sometimes I find the MACD too dynamic, and the RSI has always shown a lot more of a lagging type of it seems to be more lagging than the MACD. But seeing how you've explained this, I don't trade stocks, but I'm more on the crypto side. But seeing this on the stock side is actually quite interesting, and I can see the accuracy in what you're sharing. So I appreciate this a lot.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate you. And the same thing for crypto. You're going to see the same thing for crypto. The funny thing is, I have it down here, but I also use a Stoke RSI. So I used to use the RSI as well. And quite often you're going to see some of these same divergences on the RSI.
Yeah, 100%. I see that definitely on the crypto side. And obviously where I get my full confirmation is using the squeeze, the cheap code algo squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
To get the full confirmation on the bullish or the bear.
Yeah, and see, like I said, I taught you guys the hard way. Having the squeeze, the squeeze is the easy. It's going to show it to you.
Yeah, game over.
Game over. The squeeze will just give it to you. But I want to make sure you guys, God willing, cheat code lasts forever, and we'll always have it, for years on in our careers, trading and such. But if you guys, anything, you go your separate ways from cheat code or what have you, and you still use, MACD, RSI, stochastic or what have you, a different kind of oscillator, then you still can see these things as they appear, and you'll be able to get it on your own. And that's what we want you to be able to do, regardless of what you use. Be able to see these weaknesses and take advantage of them. All right, how much time I got? I got 20 minutes. All right, so that being said, I do want to go into the some of the things I see now, and then we can try to do a couple of little back tests and pick a stock and see if we can have some fun with it. Yeah, that sound good to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it.
Look at
Let's
that
get it.
W
Let's get it.
pattern coming out so nice.
No, I'm telling you, oh, them W's, them M's and W's, baby. We love the M's and W's.
Yeah.
All right. So what I saw, I wrote a couple of them down last night because I do use one strategy session. I am going to go over the screeners. I know, they call me Screener Steve for a reason. But another one of the tricks that I like to do is I like to look for when price action is either overbought or oversold, and then look for these divergences. That's a little extra gem for you guys. So, all right. One thing I did see, let's go to Apple. And these were some that I picked off the screener last night. I just picked up a few. I didn't feel like looking like 90-something tickers. So I said, let me just grab a few for example of what's going on right now. And I saw it on the 4-hour. Was it the 4-hour? Oh, I wanted to do that. This wasn't one that happened now, but this is one that happened in August. August 21st. Okay, cool. So shucks, it's actually happened right in here too. I mean, the price action was almost the same level. That peak right there was a little higher, but this was a nice divergence to the downside that set up for that earnings. Okay, but let's look at this one. So price action came down here. Did this consolidate, gave us a little pivot right here, right? But as price went down lower, and this would have been a nice one for those who play Apple, because this happens on Apple quite often as well. Price got lower, but look at that MACD. This gave you a nice turning point that led into this move right here. That was a good look. That was some good money to be made. And I'll be having my own conspiracy theories with these earnings and stuff, because I see them so often. It's so weird that we get these moves right into earnings, but look what's happening as it's dying off. Somebody knows something, right? They ain't buying no more. If you're about to go in earnings, it's about to take off and the earnings about to make a whole bunch of money, maybe go up. You think people would be buying into that strength? They wasn't. And the big plays already know. When you're in the 4-hour and the daily and the weekly, and you see these divergences, that's big money saying, I'm taking my money off the table. Excuse me. So when
So Steve,
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. How do you know when to drop down to the smaller time frames to enter a play?
Oh, great question. Matter of fact, I can answer that when we go into the ones that we see right now. Let me go look at NVIDIA. I'm taking NVIDIA. The rest of these are on a daily. So let's look at it. Let's look at it now.
I've definitely been doing okay. But I've definitely caught myself a couple times where I almost made a massive error.
The video on the daily, I didn't see. I must have saw one before. I thought I was looking at one right now. This one, I'm showing you past stuff, but I wanted to see something that was happening now. I just find something that was happening now. But as you're starting to curl, as the MACD starts to curl over, that's when you start looking on the bigger time frame. That's when you want to start going into like I see it as price is going up. I'm already looking down as price is going up, especially when it gets breaks this high. I already starting to look and see that we're having a divergence. So at that point in time, I'm looking for the hourly for a downturn, or waiting for the hourly to start getting weak, if that makes sense. So price action is starting to go up higher than previous, and I'm like, oh, but the minute that thing starts to curl a little bit, I'm already looking at the hourly.
Hey, Steve, is there such thing as going too far back?
What you mean, as far as?
Like, because I think I see a divergence. Like if you start from the third highest hump.
The third highest hump?
Yeah, to your left. I'm sorry. Yeah, that one right there.
This one here?
All the way to the right. And then from the same position on the MACD,
Okay.
is that a divergence or am I going too far back?
Now, I'm gonna tell you, I've had millionaire traders tell me this is definitely a divergence. And then I've had hedge fund traders that tell me go from pivot to pivot, right? So I'm definitely with you on this one here. And this one had a nice little drop too, but it's saying from one high to the next high. And then this high compared to this high. That's how they taught me. But
okay.
No, but I've also seen when price action in general is going that way, and then you get this, you'll still have you don't not going too far back. Don't go too crazy, but you definitely can see the weakness and overall. Because if you want to do that, you know what you could do as well. Go to the weekly or the monthly, and then you'll get a better look at it.
Okay.
So wow, you see, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys see what's happening right now?
Most definitely. It's about to happen.
Wow. So do we got higher highs, guys?
Yep.
Is the MACD as high as this? What should we be looking for, guys?
Downside.
All right. So we should be looking for weakness in the daily, right? That's the weekly. We should be looking for what's the MACD doing, guys? Starting to curl up. So I'm not saying it's going to drop and drop like a bucket, but we can start taking a look and seeing if we're starting to see some weakness on the daily, on the hourly, the 4 hour, because of what we just seen on the weekly. So this is what I'm talking about, seeing it before you see it. Come on, hurry up. So price action is still going high. This hasn't curled over yet. I still want to see it curl over. I still want to see it pivot to where we get a candle lower than its previous candle. I would like to see that, but I'm already starting to look like, I'm getting my mouth is watering. I'm chopping my gums. I'm ready because I see what I see, right? See what I see.
So when you see these, like you're being cautious of like
more upside.
How can you say, like, if you're going up, more upside, you're being very cautious of that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Not to say that it can't continue to go up, because this may still go up some more before it pivots. And there still may be a divergence. So you just want to be cautious because we are in the uptrend. And we're looking at this to say, ooh, this may be turning over, but we don't want to jump in too early until we get some confirmation, maybe from a lower time frame, maybe until, like I said, the next candle breaks this candle's low. You know what I mean? So it shows that, okay, cool, and the MACD starting to turn over. Okay, now we're in the beginning of something. And we can take advantage of that on the lower time frames.
This could technically be the start of a no return divergence if we don't get a green histogram bar.
Exactly. If we don't get another green week and this doesn't turn green and this MACD don't cross to the upside and this starts to curl over. Oh, my headphones saying please charging. Lord have, let me take off the headphones.
And again, the no return means there's no.
All right, can you guys still hear me?
Histogram.
Yeah.
MACD.
Yeah.
Yeah, the no return means there was no green histogram bar because you see you're putting in green candles, but there's no
92
green
people on here
histogram
now.
bar just
Okay.
Got you.
Hey, Close, say something.
Can you hear me? Steve?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Boy. All right, give me a second.
I don't think Steve can hear us.
My volume situated. Hold
on. Wouldn't it help if
I think he got cut off.
I think he's trying to fix his
here right now.
Yeah, he's trying to fix his setup.
Audio issues.
Okay, I'm back. I got you. I had them audio issues. I'm good now.
Okay.
Wouldn't it help if we had some levels on the chart, because that might also be more confluence that we might be at a point of resistance?
Absolutely. See, I was just giving you guys basics, but this is even more magical when these things are happening at support or resistance. Oh my. Like when I had put that 411 on SPY, when you have your lines up and these things can't pass those lines at support or resistance, and you see those divergences, it's even more powerful. Even more powerful. I just don't have any lines on because I wanted to show y'all based off a naked chart. But when you start putting in your support and resistance lines, forget about it. Game over. Game over.
Steve, I
Yes.
pressed my finger down on your screen as though it was my chart. It's so crazy. I was trying to see the date for something.
It's all good. But yeah, so this the video is cool. Listen, all right, but we see, so this is what I'm talking about, seeing it before you guys see it. Let me see what I seen in Carvana. I seen something on Carvana.
Steve, can you make an example with a replay?
Yeah, we're gonna do some of that.
All right.
How much time?
Thanks.
I got 10 minutes. Oh, shucks.
For some good information, Stephen.
No doubt. No problem. Appreciate you. Carvana is coming into a high. See how it's pushing up higher, right? So let's do a level on here, right? So we got a high right here. Look at the MACD, right? Now the histograms are larger, so this could end up being like a consolidation breakout to the upside. That's possible, but we definitely see a divergence happening on the MACD lines right now. So we'll be looking for that. That's happening right now. This is a daily chart right now. DHR is another one I saw. Look at that. Let's make the magic happen, y'all. Look at that. Boom. Price action is already getting higher. We got levels to this, man. We got levels to this. We got a line right here. So that doesn't mean it stopped pushing up yet. We want to see this MACD start to curl, right? But we already know that the lines ain't right, and the histograms are not right. We already know. So that's that right there. And we got a nice, these are some bearish candles right here. You can start looking in your hourly if you want to look for a nice retracement back, right? So that's a possibility. I'm just going to go through them. Y'all starting to see what I see? As I see in it, price action is getting a little higher. MACD lines, not so much, So be cautious. FANG, I see FANG. Same thing on FANG. Look at that. Price action is shooting to the top. It's shooting. It's gone. My MACD lines, though. But you want to wait until these MACD lines start to curl. Price action starts to turn over. Start looking at your hourly and such and starting to look for weakness. Because sometimes you'll get a divergence on the daily and then still get a divergence on the hourly as well. You start to see that. That's like, forget about it. We're going to be pushing down. And for those who, are new or, haven't, heard me before, y'all get on the futures floor. Ask the people on the futures floor how we see these things all the time on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 2 minute, and we play them. And make some nice money. All right.
I somehow missed how you do the entries on the lower time frames.
Say that again.
I said I somehow missed how you do entries on the lower time frames.
The lower time frames, see, when you see it on the bigger time frame, the lower time frame is your strategy. Whatever your strategy is to play, whether it be to the downside or the upside, look for your strategy. I can give you one of mine, but like an EMA crossover.
Because I'm usually I definitely am guessing. It's like all indicators lining up for me to enter, and it's got to be a better way. That's my janky newbie, and
right.
Same here.
I'm playing candle to candle like Leo, but even that sometimes you can get snatched out suddenly. So I haven't been doing that as much because I'm like, what is going? But this right here is almost like an early warning indicator.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like I said, whether you choose a strategy saying, okay, price action, if price action gets below this point, at this point, you're looking for, maybe a lower high, a trend reversal breakout, and I'll probably go over next week. And, those will have, and there's entries on these too. There's entries that you can have on these as well, that I can give you. I just want to make sure I get enough. I got 7 minutes. I wanted to go over some things. We might have to go do a whole other session. I might have to do a part 2 to this.
Yep.
And so we can do some back testing. But
You should definitely package this and put it up for sale. I don't know what you're doing on the new community, but I'm telling you,
I
this
appreciate
right
it.
here. Yeah.
I appreciate it. What's happening right now on Google? Look at what Google's doing. Got a nice slight divergence here. Got a nice divergence going on. And then we can even go back. Let's go back.
Keep in mind with all these bearish divergences that we're seeing from the seasonality standpoint, September is one of the worst months for tech. So this makes sense that we're seeing these divergences starting to show up because there should be a decent downtrend coming on a lot of these tech stocks.
Exactly. And us, we knowing that and we seeing these things. Oh yeah. Let's see how it plays out. Now we got to record it. We can go back in time after we record this.
So when it comes to higher time frames, Steve, and then you're playing on like the 2, 3 minute and 1 minute, how
Yes.
long before it plays out on those time frames?
On the smaller time frames, within minutes. Like we know when we're looking at these on the 15-minute, we do this all the time on the 15-minute. We see those bearish divergences that we start looking for the weakness on the 5-minute, on the 3-minute, on the 2-minute. And then sometimes we get big plays on the 15-minute. We can start from the 5-minute looking divergences, now jump down to the 1-minute and get in and out. That's how we can kill those scalps.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's how we kill it. That's how me and Chloe killing them scalps. How Jeff and Neo, you see him?
Yeah, because I'm like, how? Okay, so
this is, but we of course we done trained our eyes to see them as they're coming in, right? Just like we're doing right now. We see price going up on Google. Now we get one bearish candle. We're getting weakness. We see that the lines aren't lining up. The histograms aren't lining up. When price action is higher, we are being proactive. We're being proactive. And now we're gonna go down to the hourly and see what the hourly talking about. Look at the hourly. Hey, Shaman. Look what's about to happen on the hourly.
I know that our crossover.
Our crossover is about to go down. So that's our EMA crossover. I know we went over that last week. But seeing that divergence on the daily, this will give us even a stronger move on our hourly 6 and 17 crossover, correct? Now we can play this. Even if we wanted to play it for a day or two, we could, once that thing crosses over officially.
Right.
Hopefully we don't get a gap down on Tuesday, which will kind of mess us up on price action, but we still be able to play it and maybe play it for a couple of hours, maybe a day trade, or for 2 or 3 days if this continues to go down for a couple of days and make some good money. Right? So that's that. I ain't even go over the consolidation and breakout plays. We're gonna do that a whole nother time. Oh man, I got 4 minutes. All right.
Steve, what are your EMAs real quick? 6 and 17. What's the blue one?
The blue one is my
What
50.
is
My blue is my 50 EMA. And then I have the purple is my 200 SMA. Yeah, that's what I got there. Somebody pick a stock real quick.
Tesla.
Boom, Tessie. Tessie. Tessie had, look at this. Okay, this is a 1 hour chart on Tessie. Let's get some levels in here, right? So we got this, we had this high here. Right? It started playing around. Look back, boom, boom, right? We see that this area right here, but look at this. Come on. We're doing this live. We're just looking at, I just popped a line on there from what price action was going. And we can see back in the previous time, this area is definitely one of interest, right? What happened? We got to this line, came down, played with it, came back to the line. What's happening on the MACD, guys? There's no buyers, guys. Where's the green, guys? Where's the green? What happened next? This is Thursday's action. This is Thursday going into Friday. So Thursday at 3:30, we already see the divergence as price action is coming up. Boom. Friday morning, boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Did the divergence work out nicely?
And it's an M pattern too.
Yes,
Look.
ma'am. You know we like those M patterns. You know we like those M patterns. So
Yeah.
where would you take this divergence, right? So the conservative is that pivot, that middle pivot, right? I want to draw a line right in here. This little area. Let's take this off real quick. This is the conservative entry right here. Once you break that middle pivot, you can enter the trade. Right? This is actually a 2-for-1 because when I start to see a candle break down and pivot past the previous candle high, when we get that high, and then it breaks below that, you can enter right there too. That one is more aggressive and more risky. The conservative entry is more flowing, you know, but if you get in here on the break of that and it continues to go, you're in the money, big money. You're in that money. So this is some good stuff right here. And you can exit at support. You can exit, you know, to go for your 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, you know, but I like to go with price action and look for, you know, next level of support areas and stuff like that. Like this one right here where this candle is right here, I'll probably be looking for that as a support area. We had a fair value gap here. So look for that to possibly fill. It's already halfway. It's probably why it's trying to turn up a little bit, but you know, it might possibly fill that eventually. So different ways of going about it. It's different ways to make money in the market. I am going to have to, because it is time for Jeff's, this hour went by real fast, didn't it? It is time for Mindset Saturdays with Brother Jeff, JD the Great. Would love to do some back testing with you guys, you know. Let me just do Tesla real quick on this 1 hour because I see a nice one. This one was,
because I think there's still a lot of questions about the entries on the lower time frames based on these divergences on the higher time frames.
yeah, and yeah,
Yes.
everybody want to know exactly when they get in, and you know, it depends on your strategy. It really does, because you may have a different strategy than I do. Like I like the 6 and 17 cross on the lower time frames, right? I might look for my, you know, my 6-17 cross consolidation breakout to confirm that it's going down.
Well, see, that 617 isn't always guaranteed either, and so it's probably the MACD that I get to be looking at more.
Right.
More. Yeah. So when it's back tested, we are ready.
Yeah, just to keep it simple, let's just say you see a divergence on the 15-minute. It's a bearish divergence that you see is about to show up. You can drop down to the 5 and see where the Stochastic and the MACD are. If the 5 is heading into overbought and the MACD looks like it's starting to curl, but it hasn't curled yet, you can then drop down to your 1 and look for that breakdown on the 1, because that's normally how I'll do it, because then I get the early entry on the 1. That 1 starts to break down, the MACD crosses, the Stochastic crosses to the downside. Now I'm in it on the 1 minute. I'm playing the downtrend on the 1, which then should translate to the 5. That 5 then turns over and goes into a downtrend. I should then be able to catch that divergence on the 15-minute if it plays out. Either way, if the 15-minute doesn't play out the full divergence and it just say it goes into consolidation, you're still catching that downtrend from the 1 and the 5. But if that 15 does play out, now you're catching a major move because you got in it so early because you caught your entry off the 1, played out the downtrend on the 5. Now the 15-minute kicks in. Now you just went from a trade that you could have been in for maybe 5 to 10 minutes to maybe 45 minutes to an hour because you caught the trend on the 15-minute because you noticed that divergence early.
What?
Genius. My whole brain.
I'm so glad that's on the recording.
That was
Okay.
nice.
Thank you.
My mind is officially blown.
You guys gave us a strategy.
Oh my God.
And
you
that's
know
how
it's
we do
real
it
when
every day.
everybody
Drop the mic, bro.
Thanks, Chloe.
You broke it down, Chloe.
Wait, can you one day break that down just like with a chart one day? That was like
absolutely
We
amazing.
can when we do the back testing. I hear everybody asking, and I know that that's what you guys are really wanting to know. I hear the question, so I see it in the chat. I hear you asking. That's what you want to know. You're trying to figure out how to dial in your entries, and that's honestly the best way that I've found to dial my entries in. Because even if that divergence doesn't play out, you're still catching the downtrend on the 1 and the 5-minute. So you're still getting a decent move. Now it's just about seeing what price action is doing and if that divergence it's gonna hold, and if it holds, you get the monster move at that point.
Exactly. Now this goes back. Now you see how now we're adding multiple things together, right? Because if you was here on my first strategy session Saturday, we went over the MACD and the stochastic, to using them as one, right? Using them in conjunction. Now, by seeing the divergence on a bigger time frame and then going to the lower time frame and waiting for the stochastic to get overbought and then the MACD to turn around and curl over at that point, that's exactly what Chloe was saying. And all of that is based off of what we saw on the divergence and then just waiting on the lower time frame. Man, we do this all day. This is exactly how we set everything up. And we just be waiting patiently and make it happen. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this session today. And for those who are on YouTube, make sure you guys come over to cheatcode.com. And it's free to register. So register, you get some of these fantastic classes. And we got some more people who will do some fantastic things and can show you some phenomenal strategies and help you with your charting and get you trading futures, stocks.
Good morning.
Crypto. Good morning.
Hey, Chloe.
Okay, bye, you guys. I'm headed over to Mindset.
All right, we're gonna get over to Mindset.
Chloe, I missed the sauce. My spaghetti is dry. Can you put some sauce in there for me?
It is dry.
What?
What? You
Listen, you're on the feature all the time.
Afro woke up early with the shenanigans.
Came through.
Okay.
Serious now, Chloe.
Peace and blessings.
See y'all in Mindset.
See you in the next class.
Steve,
All
can
right, y'all.
Thank
can I-
you.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys, no problem. We'll see you guys in the Mindset.
Thank
See
you.
you in Mindset.
Starting right now.